Namaste. Namaste. Alonde. Alonde. Kaisa Alonde. We're going to be talking about Amber Heard. Finally. काफी clips हैं. But this is interesting. अगर कोई और आपके पास clip हो आप बता दो. We'll react to this. Let's jump into this.
The first time that he physically hit you.
Yes.
Please tell the jury about it.
It was it's seemingly so stupid, so insignificant. I will never forget it. It changed my life. I was sitting on the couch and we were talking. We were having a normal conversation, there was no fighting, no argument, nothing.
I'm slightly confused. Is this how she normally speaks? Because here's another thing. I've seen her talk in movies. So that's acting, right? But in real life, I've never. And this seems like changed my life. I don't know. Kind of.
He was drinking and...
Okay, let's hear it.
I didn't realize at the time, but I think he was using cocaine because it was like there was a jar of cocaine out on the table. I realize that sounds weird, but it was like, oh.
It may be true. We cannot say that, there wasn't or there is. I mean, देखो, अगर कोई झूठ बोला, कोई सच भी बोल रहा है, the best lie is in which you are the closest to the truth. यानी कि तुम काफी truth फेंक देते हो उसके अंदर. And best lie वो होता है. So it may be possible that, like he's this eccentric dude, who knows what kind of life these people live.
An actual vintage jar of it. But I didn't see him use it at the time, so I didn't really factor that in. I just, he's drinking and we're talking and there's music playing and he's smoking cigarettes and we're sitting next to each other on the couch. And so then I asked him about the tattoo he has on his arm. And to me, it just looked like black marks. I didn't know what it said. It just looked like muddled, faded tattoo that was hard to read. And I said, "What does it say?" And he said, "It says wino." It says wino, and I didn't see that. I thought he was joking because it didn't look like it said that at all, and I laughed. It was that simple. I just laughed because I thought he was joking, and slapped me across the face.
But doesn't it look like she's kind of acting? To me, this sounds like a person, I don't know, see, I'm being very skeptical. I know I'm going to try to look at it from all points of view because अगर वो नहीं हो रहा है तो फिर pointless है. But I don't know how she normally talks, first. Second, if this is how she normally talks, then it's okay. Second, I get it. There is emotions and everything. But the way she's telling it sounds like she's telling it for the first time, or I don't know, the emotionality of it is looks slightly that she has in her mind that she has to be emotionally the best right now. ये जो मेरे पास मोमेंट है यहाँ पे ये भी नहीं हो सकता है एक सेकंड के लिए भी. अगर इमोशंस दो तरह से होते हैं ना, एक होते हैं कि नॉर्मली निकल आए कि तुम बोल रहे हो बात करते करते और फिर सडनली तुम्हारा हल्का सा आवाज़ चेंज हो जाती है, तुम्हारे हल्का सा बाहर आ जाता है, फिर तुम कोशिश करते हो अपने आप को रोकने की बट वो नहीं रुक रहा है. एक तो ये हो गया इमोशंस एक्टिंग में. एक होता है कि मेरे को यहाँ पे मेक श्योर करना है अपने दिमाग से कि मैं इमोशनली दिखूं और जितना बेस्ट दिख सकता हूं उतना दिखूं, गलती से भी ना हो जाए कि मैं इमोशनली अंडर परफॉर्म कर जाऊं. हियर इट्स आई डोंट नो, इट लुक्स लाइक अ पर्सन, एंड दिस इज अगेन माय हाइपोथेसिस. And I'm very skeptical about this hypothesis as well. But to me, it looks like she's trying to be emotional keeping in mind कि मेरे को best emotional दिखना है यहाँ पे.
And I laughed. I laughed because I didn't know what else to do. I thought this must be a joke. This must be a joke because I didn't know what was going on. I just stared at him, kind of laughing still, thinking that he was going to start laughing too to tell me it was a joke, but he didn't. He said, "You think it's so funny? You think it's funny, bitch? You think you're a funny bitch?" And he slapped me again. Like, it was clear it wasn't a joke anymore. And I stopped laughing, but I didn't know what else to do. You know, I didn't know what to do. You would think you would have a response, but I, as a woman, had never been hit like that.
Bro, I as a woman, I've never been hit like that. कोई भी इंसान अगर अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस को बता रहा है तो उसमें वो जनरल एक्सपीरियंस को नहीं घुसेड़ देगा, वो पर्सनल रहेगा. I've never been hit in my life, so I had no idea. अगर एक औरत भी बता रही है, unless you're trying to make it like जो women देख रही हैं, they may also feel as a woman, you're right. Bro, यहाँ थोड़ा सा अब मेरे को manipulation दिख रहा है. Second चीज़, this is highly inconsistent with तुम्हारी खुद की audio recordings. You're a person, let's just say तुम जो story बता रहे हो, it's true, it happened. You're not a person, and it's very evident in your audio recordings, who just takes anything. You, on the other hand, तुम्हारी सारी audio recording में you are here. He is here. You're here in terms of expressing yourself, shouting, screaming, berating, humiliating, सब कुछ में. And वो यहाँ पे है. So, I don't know. You suddenly become this person who's just quiet and
I'm an adult and I'm sitting next to the man I love, and he slapped me for no reason, it seemed like, and I missed the point. It was that stupid. Second slap, I know he's not kidding, but I don't know what else to say or do, so I just stared at him. I didn't say anything, I didn't react, I didn't move or freak out or defend myself or say, "What are you doing? You're crazy." I just stared at him because I didn't know what else to do. And he slaps me one more time. Hard. I lose my balance. At this point, we're sitting next to each other on the edge of the couch, or I was on the edge of the couch. And I'm all of a sudden realizing that the worst thing has just happened to me that could possibly happen to you. I realized that I wish so much he had said he was joking, because it didn't hurt. It didn't physically hurt me. I was just sitting there on this carpet, looking at the dirty carpet, wondering how I wound up on this carpet and why I never noticed that the carpet was so filthy before. And
oh, this is looks like a monologue. I'm so sorry. Like I swear to God, मैं अगर किसी की बात सुनूं, I swear to God, I really remove every single thing in my mind. I start with blankness. I'm a writer. This to me sounds like a movie monologue. You know, I'm at a carpet, and even though I've just been abused, I'm looking at the carpet. Like, this is how you write a novel. And why is the carpet dirty? This is not how people speak normally. This is how writers write. And that's how a director will show you अगर वो हो रहा है, क्योंकि you know the person is so much in shock that they're noticing weird things and then going back into the reality.
I just didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to react. I just sat there thinking, how much time do I have till I figure out what I need to do? Because, God, did he just hit me? No, I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want this to be the reality. I didn't want to have the man I was in love with. I know you don't come back from that. You know, I'm not dumb. I know you can't hit a woman. You can't hit a man. You can't hit anyone. You can't just hit somebody because they... I knew it was wrong, and I knew that I had to leave him. And that's what broke my heart, because I didn't want to leave him. I thought if I got up out of that room, I'd leave the best thing that ever happened to me.
What about all your audio recordings in which you're admitting that I didn't punch you? Stop being a fucking baby! Jeez, you're such a baby. I didn't punch you, I just hit you.
And I wish I could sit here and say I stood up and I walked out of that house and I drew a line and I stood up for myself. But I was just looking at the dirty carpet trying to will myself to get up, to walk out of the door because I knew I needed to. And I really slowly, I stood up and I remember looking at him in the eye and just looking at him, frankly, because I didn't know what else to do. And before I know it, he starts crying. And, you know, like I had never seen an adult man cry. I didn't even really see my dad cry at my grandma's funeral. You know, it's weird. And he's crying. Tears, I mean, just falling out of his eyes. He gets down on his knees and he grabs my hands and he's touching my hands and he's saying to me, I will never do that again. I'm so sorry, baby. I put the fucker away. I thought I killed it and it's done. I thought I put the monster away and I've done it before. It's done. But on his knees. And I didn't have words. I didn't know what to say. I just remember thinking that it was just, he was crying. He seemed so sorry, but I knew I couldn't just forgive him because right? That means it will happen again, no? You know, like I've seen the health class videos, like everyone else. And I got up in my car. I walked to the car. I didn't say anything. I made a point to not say, oh, it's okay or anything like that. I just didn't say anything. I got up, I went to the car, I sat in my car, and I felt like I sat there forever. I didn't want to turn the key. I just leaned my head up against the window, and I remember just seeing my breath on the windshield, you know, on the glass of the window of the door, just seeing my breath and trying to will myself to have the strength to know what I should do in this moment because I was heartbroken. And I sat there for a long time and I eventually turned the key and drove home.
And what did you do after that?
I don't know. I don't remember what I did when I got home. I don't remember. I went to my therapist.
In a sequence of events, if you have such insane clarity up until the point कि तुम गाड़ी ड्राइव करके अपने घर जा रहे हो और then you suddenly lose it and then you have no idea what you did. I don't know. I mean, it seems like if you can remember कि तुम जब कार की windshield के against breathe कर रहे हो, जो glass वो हो गया, तुम्हारा window, and you have this much clarity and then you have clarity कि I went home and then you suddenly lose anything and everything. I don't know. Maybe अप अंटिल दिस पॉइंट ये जितना भी पार्ट था तुमने अपने दिमाग में ढंग से एक एक डिटेल इस स्टोरी को इतना ढंग से प्रिपेयर कर रखा है कि तुम यहाँ तक एग्जीक्यूट कर पाओ. आई डोंट, साउंड्स टू मी लाइक, आई डोंट नो, सी इट कुड बी ट्रू, हु नोज, बट अ पार्ट ऑफ मी जब इसको सुन रहा है इट्स लाइक दिस साउंड्स लाइक अ परफॉर्मेंस ऑन अनदर. इट रियली डज बिकॉज द वे शी इज, हर सेंटेंस के पीछे इमोशंस आर चेंजिंग, हाइट एंड लो. ऐसा लग रहा है कि एक्टिंग देख रहा हूं मैं, एडजस्ट हो रहा है बट एक्टिंग भी नहीं है. सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक इट इज एक्टिंग, या वही प्लान्ड. आई डोंट नो, देयर्स अ लॉट. इट्स,
I told her.
and now like the other thing starts, like she's going from scene A to scene B, then therapist.
Objection, hearsay.
I'll sustain it as to what she may have told her.
I went home and I, a few days later, started getting, I actually don't know how many days later, but I started getting calls and texts from Johnny, apologizing profusely. I mean, just, he said, I'd rather cut my hand off than ever lay it on you or lay it upon you, and he had that way of talking. It felt like poetry.
See, she again is going like, I'm this really innocent girl. Now I'm not buying it, yaar. She adds these sentences that give away something to me, which is dangerous level of manipulation, जो कि एक really innocent इंसान क्या बोलेगा. वो है, oh, I had this way. It's like, that phrase, that poetry, like, dude, we've heard your audio recordings. You're not this person जो कि, naive है. This naive little girl जो कि एक बहुत ही abusive relationship में फंसी है. You're a person who stood up for yourself. You're a person who screamed, fought. You're the person who's calling him n number of fucking things. Screaming like you have incredibly large balls. And I'm not saying that as a compliment. I'm saying that as a person with respect to तुम अभी जो portray कर रहे हो. You're not this timid, naive, innocent, innocuous, this angel. Like, oh, I got swayed again and he's this barbarian, coke snort करने वाला, alcohol और cigarettes पीने वाला इंसान जिसने मेरे को 3 थप्पड़ मारे और फिर मेरे को तब भी all I cared about was just ये कारपेट डर्टी क्यों है. फिर मैं घर गई, फिर वहाँ से मेरी स्टोरी गायब है. फिर नेक्स्ट ऑब्वियसली टेक्स्ट आने लग गए एंड I just got swayed again. Dude, you guys have audio recordings जहाँ पे तुम क्लियरली गैस लाइट कर रहे हो उसको ऑन अनदर लेवल. तुम कन्फैबुलेशन कर रहे हो. हाईली मैनिपुलेशन टैक्टिक है ये. क्रेजी मैनिपुलेशन टैक्टिक मानी आती. कन्फैबुलेशन, गैस लाइटिंग तुम क्लियरली कर रहे हो, उसमें विजिबल है. तुम चढ़ चढ़ के बोल रहे हो. ऑन द कॉन्ट्री तुम्हारी दोनों की कन्फ्रंटेशन में ही इज हियर. ही इज द टिमिड वन. जो इंसान तुम अभी पोर्ट्रे कर रहे हो जिसने कहा बेच और ये वह इन द ऑडियो रिकॉर्डिंग्स ही इज हियर. यू आर हियर.
And he showed up to talk, like with the understanding that, he understood I could never forgive him and it was done. So I felt kind of safe in saying, okay, let's have a talk, or, yeah, we'll talk. I think I know I just wanted to see him, and he comes over, brings me gifts. He brought me a couple cases actually of that Vega Sicilia wine that we've heard about. Which is a really nice, expensive wine that I could never, at that time, dream of affording, And we talk, and he tells me that he had put this thing away, that I could trust him, that it would never happen again. Of course, it would never.
So this is, I think she's alluding to a lot of people जो कि alcoholism से सफ़र करते हैं, उन सब से सफ़र करते हैं. They have this rage in them, और फिर alcohol की वजह से आपके अंदर there is a thing that comes out, and I think she's alluding to that thing. It's a, तो मैं अगर तुम लिटरेचर पे जाते हो साइकोलॉजी की, अल्कोहलिज्म या फिर जितने भी ड्रग एडिक्शन इनको डिजीज़ माना जाता है क्योंकि आपकी बायोकेमिकल जो स्टेट है, दिमाग का, ब्रेन, न्यूरोलॉजिक स्टेट बदल देते हैं. आई डोंट नो प्रिसाइसली उसको टर्म्स क्या हैं उसके, बट यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. दीज थिंग्स हैव फिजियोलॉजिकल कंट्रोल ओवर यू एंड साइकोलॉजिकल कंट्रोल ओवर यू बिकॉज दे चेंज द वे योर ब्रेन वर्क्स. इस कारण इंसान, ऑब्वियसली तुम्हें पता है ये ड्रग्स एंड अल्कोहल इनहिबिशंस लोअर कर देते हैं, यानी कि बिहेवियरली जो हम सोशली नॉर्मली बिहेव करेंगे हम वैसे नहीं करते. हमारे इनहिबिशंस लो हो जाते हैं, तो हमारे एग्रेसिविटी बहुत ज़्यादा हो सकता है हाई हो, ठीक है. शेमफुलनेस हो सकता है बाहर आ जाए. सेक्सुअली इंसान तुम देखते हो बाहर आ जाता है. एनीवे, ये सब जनरल लिटरेचर के अंदर आपको पाया जाएगा. अगर मुझे यूज़ करना हो, ये इतनी मेन स्ट्रीम ईजी टू अवेल लिटरेचर है कि मैं काइंड ऑफ वो नैरेटिव यूज कर सकता हूं जो कि easily बैठेंगे consistent with a person who drinks. And this demon talk that she's doing is the most Hollywood way of putting it. कि I have a monster, जब मैं दारू पीता हूँ मेरा monster निकल आता है. You've heard this. So अगर मुझे किसी को सुनाना है and if I have to make sure I can say the most relatable या most easy simplistic thing जिससे कन्वे हो जाएगा, वो यही होगा कि he had this demon inside of him. Where was this demon जब तुम्हारे सारे again audio recording में कहाँ है? You know, that's what I'm trying to find. Or like in all the other people's testimonies, तुम्हारे पुलिस वालों के, तुम्हारे like every person is saying that you were the one जो चीज़ें फेंकती थी, चिल्लाती थी, गालियाँ बकती थी. इतने लोगों की टेस्टिमनी है, you know, जहाँ पे तुम बैठ के उस इंसान को बेरेट करो, चिल्ला रहे हो, गा रहे हो, and he is the one who's always escaping the situation. It would be the other way around, na? A lot of people would have heard him throwing things, him screaming at you, him, because it's a demon inside of him that he cannot control. तो demon बाहर को आना चाहिए था ना, demon को.
Never happen again. That he'd put this thing away. He'd killed the fucker is what he said to me over and over again. I put that fucker away. I killed that monster. I'll kill it again. It's done. I'll never lay a hand on you again. And I wanted to believe him. So I chose to.
So when
So
did you, I
stay
would love to
really-
hear, I don't know if they asked her or not, like when did you also become, you know, a violent person?
Relationship.
Yeah, I did. I believed it. But, you know, I believed it wouldn't. I believed that there was a line he wouldn't cross again, and that was it.
And so you stayed, correct? You stayed in the relationship?
Yes.
Okay. So, just, is this a good time? You
No,
want to do
you can keep going a little longer, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, could you please describe for the jury the evolution of your relationship after that time with Johnny?
I don't know how long it was until things got bad again. He did start drinking again. I remember it was almost, you know, he'd start drinking again, the disappearing thing, the coming back. He'd come back like in the middle of the night to my house. And it would be unclear to me, you know, drunk, often really drunk, and kind of accusing me, but not directly. Nothing was very direct. It was a lot of accusations, but they were veiled. You know, what I was wearing, who I was with, why didn't I text him back? I didn't text him back right away.
So again, what did I say? I think this is right, what she's saying, that this did happen. Because the way she's saying here, it's not like she has to again put that performance of emotions to 100. This way she was like, okay, this is the truthful part. It felt truthful to me because probably it did happen. Probably he was because he is like in his 50s and something. She was a young person and probably she was going out. Probably he didn't trust her. And probably this conversation did happen. Ki tum, you know, who were you going out with? And da 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 da. You know, la la la. And probably at that time, as I'm assuming, she was not even the big actor she is now. I wouldn't say big actor, but like was in Aquaman. I don't think she had any big deals back then. So probably she was also on the prowl of how can I make my own career? You know? And we also know she had relationships with James Franco. She had relationships with Elon Musk while she was, I think, with Johnny Depp. So I don't know. I don't know if she was cheating. Itna mujhe details nahi hai. But you know, men can be. It can happen. You know, a lot of people in relationships, women, men, and either of those people can get insecure. They can, especially if somebody is, you know, let's just say insecure about themselves and they think, oh, I cannot fully trust you. It will happen. So I think ये part जो है, see again I'm saying ना, इंसान जब perfect lie वो होता है जिसमें 60 to 70% सच है. It's the closest to the truth.
This is when I was at my place in Orange.
Because look how her body language is. She's relaxed now. She's like speaking also da 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 da.
Sometimes he would show up to catch me. Like that was a pretext for coming over.
Now she genuinely feels like she's telling us this because probably happened.
And by the time we were done talking, I would have thought I had convinced him that I loved him, that I only loved him, there was no one else, and then that we were back in an upswing and would go back to good, loving, like sick, romantic love. Like
There's no doubt. I think their relationship was toxic as fuck. I think यहाँ पे multiple elements involved हैं. They probably did have a very unstable, emotionally, तुम्हारी explosive relationship that went like, like this. Ups and downs and ups and downs. He was probably like highly insecure at some point, and then because probably he loved her so crazily, he was head over heels, for her. Ki when they would love, it would be like, crazily in love. And when he would be insecure, he would actually be insecure like crazy. Because again, मैं बात कर रहा हूँ ना, this is a very older gentleman at that point. He's not the young तुम्हारा Johnny Depp. She was like in her early 20s, back when they started dating, I'm assuming. And she must have been getting attention as well. Plus, she must have been like, मेरे को career अपना कैसे set करना है, any way it goes. And I don't know. It's Hollywood. It's a shitty place.
kind, sweet, velvety love. And then it would be something I said, why did you say it that way? If I had to leave for an audition, I could guarantee that when couldn't guarantee, but 2 of those in a row, and when I came back, he was angry at me, and I wouldn't necessarily know why. And then he started accusing me of things, probably like at first it was indirect, and then it became really direct. Then the punching of the walls next to my head, which is a constant at that time in 2012 when he was drinking. Eventually that became, him accusing me of cheating. I'd defend myself. I'd say, that's crazy. You're wrong. I would never. The normal things. And they would escalate.
So, see, I'm pretty sure all of these things she's saying, they're right. I don't know about right next to her face. I'm pretty sure he punched walls. Because, hey, you guys know, right? ये जब arguments होते हैं किसी इंसान को लगता है यार एक इंसान cheating कर रहा है, that there's this deep insecurity and anger एक इंसान के अंदर आता है, especially एक इंसान जो चाहता है यार. I'm pretty sure he helped her out because whatever she's saying, which means कि भाई वो इंसान इतना ज़्यादा care करता था इसके बारे में. I'm pretty sure he helped her out with her career as well, in terms of contacts से मिलवाना, ऑडिशंस को स्किप करवाना कि अरे मैं दिलवा दूंगा, मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, मैं एजेंट दिलवा रहा हूँ, तो तुम टेंशन कर ले रहे हो. बिकॉज यू कैन सी दिस पैटर्न कनेक्टिंग विद अ पर्सन जो कि नहीं चाहता. लेट्स जस्ट से कि शी टॉक्स टू पीपल जो शायद इसके एक्टर बनने का फ़ायदा उठाएं, इसकी डेस्परेशन या इच्छा. डेस्परेशन इज़ अ फेयर वर्ड एज वेल, बिकॉज तुम्हें जब कोई चीज़ चाहिए होती है, यू आर ऑल्सो डेस्परेट फॉर इट. तो ऐसे वल्चर से बचाने के लिए इंसान करता है कि आई हेल्प यू, आई एम जॉनी डेप.
To the point where he would push me or shove me down, and then I'd get back up. And this happened several times. That's why it's not more specific, I suppose. When I'd get back up, I'd look him in the eye. I made a point of getting up and looking him in the eye. It's my way of defending myself at that time. And I'd look at him, and he'd ask me if I wanted to go again, and shove me back down. Eventually, he just hit me. Remember, he hit me in the face when I denied having an affair with my ex-wife, my ex-partner at the time. And he said he had proof. I denied it. And I was walking out of the bedroom, slapped me across the face. I turned to look at him. And I said, Johnny, you hit me. You just hit me.
Hello.
I just got scared of like, what? Hello, what did I do, huh? Hey! Anyway, like, we can react more to this, man. Here's something I would like to say though. I'm not saying none of this happened. Trust me. The real answer is हमें नहीं पता. The real answer is I'm pretty sure at some point, like, इसका तो पता है एम्बर हर्ड का, क्योंकि इसकी फिंगर उड़ गई, जॉनी डेप के चेहरे पे वुंड्स थे विजिबली, ऑडियो रिकॉर्डिंग्स हैं जहाँ पे वो खुद कह रही है मैंने मुक्का नहीं मारा, मैंने वो मारा, वो कह रहा है कि भैया तुम थोड़ी बताओगी. सो एनीवे, एज फार एज जॉनी का तुम्हारा गोज, आई थिंक आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इनके बीच में हुई होगी झड़प यार, राइट. एंड जहाँ तक चीटिंग है, अगर देखो लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट, यहाँ पे केस तो चल नहीं रहा है प्रूव करने का किसने चीटिंग करी कि नहीं करी. हमें क्या पता, हमें क्या पता भाई. वो एक यंग एक्ट्रेस है, प्रॉब्ली इसको अटेंशन भी मिल रही होगी, प्रॉब्ली शी वॉज ऑल्सो वेरी हैप्पी टू बी इन दिस रिलेशनशिप, क्योंकि ही वॉज दिस मेगा स्टार. So, a lot of factors here. I'm pretty sure this was like a fuck up of a relationship in which they were constantly at each other's throats, basically. And yeah, man.